Again to welcome you to another listening episode, which is about appreciative listening. But before anything else, let's try to recall some of the things we talked about in our previous episode. We said that, first, evaluative listening is a form of critical listening. Second, evaluative listening skills enable our students to form wise judgments and decisions. Third, evaluation questions call for a set of criteria to go by. Fourth, evaluative listening calls for high-level questions, which in turn develops higher thinking skills. Today, we will talk about appreciative listening. This type of listening means just what the name implies. You like what you hear or what you listen to. Appreciative listening is demonstrated when people react positively to what they hear. Look at some of these examples. Let me show you some other things that people enjoy listening to. Let's begin with this sound that's popular among the young. Did you enjoy that? Did you notice the way the audience reacted to the rap? Would you have done it the same way? Now, let's listen to another kind of sound. Let me take you to a group of students with their teacher rehearsing them for a performance.
Good morning, class. Good morning. Isn't it a lovely thing to say for our rehearsal?
Certainly is, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like you to listen to a recorded jazz chant. Later on, I will ask you to interpret it on your own. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll play the tape.
This is the house that Jack built. This is the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that wore the cat that killed the rat that ate the dog that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow with a crumpled horn that tossed the dog that wore the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built.
Wasn't that great, class?
Yes, it was.
Do you think you can do it yourself this time?
We'll try.
Okay, then snap your fingers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is the house that Jack built. This is the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that roared the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow that crumbled horn that tossed the dog that roared the cat that killed the rat that ate the moth that lay in the house that Jack built.
Great, class. Let's have another sample of the jazz chant. Please bring out your own copy. This time around, I will read the question part in the set, and you will read the answer portion. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's snap your fingers. What do you say when your friend cat in blue?
Hang in there, hang in there.
What do you say when you don't do something right?
I blew it, I blew it.
What do you say when someone misbehaves?
Don't mess around, don't mess around.
What do you say when you feel like playing?
We're fed up, we're fed up.
What do you say when someone is shy?
Break the ice, break the ice.
What do you say when you can't remember why?
I phase out, I phase out.
Did you notice how the students snap their fingers as they listen? That's how they show enjoyment in what they listen to. What is jazz chanting then? Jazz chanting relates strongly to the teaching of listening due to the sounds it can make students produce. We will return in a short while to show you samples of other kinds of sounds that people enjoy listening to. Poetry is another thing that people enjoy listening to. In fact, poems should be read aloud. And you will appreciate the words better if you close your eyes and move your body as you listen. Why don't you do that as you listen to the second example?
Hear the sledges with the bells, silver bells, what a world of merriment their melody foretells. How they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night, while the stars that oversprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle with a crystalline delight. Keeping time, 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 in a sort of rhythmic climb, with a tinkling adulation that so musically wails, from the bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells. Hear the loud alarm bells, brazen bells, with a tale of terror now their turbulency tells. In the startled ear of night, how they scream out their affright, too much horrified to sleep, they can only shriek, shriek out of tune. And it clamors appealing to the mercy of the fire, in a mad expostulation with a deaf and frantic cry, lifting higher, 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 with a desperate desire, and a resolute endeavor, now to see it or never, at the side of the pale-faced moon, with the bells, bells, with a tale that terror tells of despair, how they climb and clash and roar. What a horror they outpour on the bosom of the palpitating air, yet the ear it fully knows by the twanging and the clanging, how the danger sinks and swells by the singing or the swelling, in the angle of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, 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 and the clamor and the clangor of bells.
How did you like that? Did you notice the way the lines were read? Some were read slowly, others were fast. Let's listen to another poem and see how pacing or rate of speech can affect one's interpretation of a poem.
Clear and cool, by laughing shallow and dreaming pool. Cool and clear, by shining jingle and foaming weir. Under the crag where the ouzel sings, and the ivied wall where the church bell rings, undefiled for the undefiled, play by me, bathe in me, mother and child.
Did you enjoy listening to the poem as it was being read? Did you find tempo slow or fast? When we talk of rate or pace of movement, we are talking of tempo. Now, I want you to move to the tempo of this second poem that you'll hear.
Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in battle, all through the meadows, the houses and the cattle, all of the sights of the hill and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by.
What was the tempo of the poem? Yes, it was fast, just like the tempo of the jazz chants you recited earlier, wasn't it? Therefore, we say that there are two kinds of tempo, slow and fast. Tempo is one of the elements of sound that makes people enjoy poetry and music. As you watch the class, listen to the music and feel the tempo. You may also move around to the tempo as you watch the students interpret the selection on their own.
Class, this time you are going to listen to a musical piece entitled The Elephant Walk. Have you heard of it?
Not yet.
Okay, you are to express this music with the use of bodily movements. And I am going to join you. You and I will interpret the song. Are you ready?
Yeah.
How did you like that? You must have enjoyed watching the students interpret the song. Were you also moving with the music? Tempo is a feature of both poetry and music that makes listening enjoyable. Aside from tempo, there are other elements of sound that attract people to appreciate what they listen to. We will tell you more about this when we return. Are you familiar with the movie Dead Poets Society? There is one sequence in that movie which shows young college boys sneaking out of their dormitories at night to read poetry inside a candlelit cave. Let's see a portion of this.
Hills Road lived a man named William Bloat. Now he had a wife, a plague of his life, who continually got his goat. And one day at dawn, with her night shift on, he slit her bloody throat.
Come, my friends. 'Tis not too late to seek a newer world, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Then I had religion. Then I had a vision. I could not turn from their revel in derision. Then I saw the common good. Cutting through the forest with a golden track. Then I saw the Congo creeping through the black. Cutting through the forest with a golden track. Then I saw the Congo creeping through the black. Cutting through the forest with a golden track. So the Congo cutting through the forest with a golden track. Then I saw the Congo creeping through the black.
Would you have done the same thing just to listen to poetry? Indeed, tempo adds life to poetry, don't you think so? I couldn't think of a better way to appreciate hearing poems like Lindsay's The Congo. Watch this and listen.
Fat black box in the wine barrel room. Barrel house kings with feet unstable, sad and real, and pounded on the table, beat an empty barrel with a handle of a broom, hard as they were able, boom, they boom, they boom, with a silk umbrella and the handle of a broom, boom, they boom, they boom, they boom. Then I had religion. Then I had a vision. I could not turn from the revel in derision. Then I saw the Congo creeping through the black, cutting through the jungle with a golden track. Then along that riverbank, 1,000 miles, tattooed cannibals dancing fast. Then I heard the boom of the song and a thigh bone beating on a timpang gong and blood!
Screamed the wrestlers in defiance of the warriors.
Blood! Scream the skullface, lean rich doctors, brilliant and beautifully wrestle. Harry the Athens, steal all his cattle. Rattle, 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 boom! Boom, 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 boom. Roaring epic, ragtime tune, from the mouth of the Congo to the mountains of the moon. Then it's an elephant, torch-eyed and herbal, folk-eyed and terrible. Boom! Steal the pygmies. Boom! Kill the Arabs. Boom! Kill the white men. Listen to the yell of Leopold's ghost, burning in hell for his handmaid's host. Hear how the demons chuckle and yell, cutting his hands off down in hell.
Listen to the creepy proclamation.
Blown to the lairs of the forest nation,
Blown past the white ants, hill of flame.
blown past the marsh where the butterflies play. Be careful what you do,
Or Mumbo Jumbo, God of the Congo, and all the other gods of the Congo.
mumbo jumbo and who do you? Or mumbo jumbo, God of the Congo, and all the other gods of the Congo. Mumbo jumbo and who do you? Mumbo jumbo and who do you? Mumbo jumbo and who do you?
Did you hear the rhythm of the Congo? What is rhythm then? It is the total quality of a line's motion. It is a product of regular repetition of several elements, namely accent, beat, and intonation. Some poems have a jerky rhythm. Others seem to move smoothly from one phrase to another. Listen to this poem by Edgar Allan Poe, Annie the Lee, as someone reads it to the students at the park.
It was many and many a year ago. in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea.
Wasn't that beautiful? Did you feel the rhythm of the poem? Remember to tell your students that rhythm is another element of sound that makes people appreciate poems and songs. Let's look at the diagram of appreciative listening and see the elements of sounds. So far, we have taken up two elements of sound, tempo and rhythm. We'll talk about two other elements when we come back. Don't go away. What have we discussed so far? Let's make a recap. We've said that tempo and rhythm are elements of sound that can make listening to poetry and songs enjoyable. And we have to make our students realize this so that they can bring out the best in them whenever they interpret poetry and music. We will move on to another element of sound which can develop appreciative skills among our students, and this is rhyme. Rhyme is something you are all familiar with. Listen to this poem by Robert Louis Stevenson titled The Wind. Note the sounds of the words at the end of each line.
I saw you toss the kites on high and blow the birds about the sky, and all around I hear you pass like lady skirts across the grass. O wind of blowing all day long, O wind that sings so loud a song.
Did you hear the rhyming pairs of words? High rhymes with sky, pass rhymes with grass, and long rhymes with song. Let's listen to another poem, this time written by Jose Garcia Villa, entitled First, a Poem Must Be Magical.
First, a poem must be magical, then musical as a seagull. It must be a brightness moving and hold secret, a bird's flowering. It must be slender as a bell, and it must hold fire as well. It must have the wisdom of bowls, and it must kneel like a rose. It must be able to hear the luminance of dove and deer. It must be able to hide what it seeks like a bride. And overall, I would like to hover, God, smiling on the poem's cover.
What are the rhyming words of Villa's poem? Yes, they are magical, gull, moving, flowering, bell, well, here, dear, hide, bride, hover, cover. Another poem which uses rhyme is Echo, a poem written by Christina Rossetti. Try to observe the words that rhyme and tell me about them later as I read the poem to you now. Come to me in the silence of the night. Come in the speaking silence of a dream. Come with soft, rounded cheeks and eyes as bright as sunlight on a stream. Come back in tears, oh memory, hope, love of thinnest years. Oh dream, how sweet, too sweet to bittersweet, whose wakening should have been in paradise, where souls brimful of love abide and meet, where thirsty longing eyes watch the slow door that opening, letting in, lets out no more. Yet come to me in dreams that I may live my very life again, though cold in death. Come back to me in dreams that I may give pulse for pulse, breath for breath. Speak low, lean low, as long ago, my love, how long ago? What are the rhyming words in that poem? You're right. They are night, bright, dream, stream, tears, years, sweet, meet, paradise, eyes, and door, more. We say that the words rhyme if they sound similar. Rhyme contributes to the overall appeal of poems. Aside from rhythm, tempo, and rhyme, we have yet another element of sound that adds charm to what we listen to. Let's watch this group of students as they listen to a poetry reader interpreting lines from the poem The Raven.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
What did you notice in this poem? Did you hear the dominant sound in the poem? You're right. This sound is E, and it is found in these words: dreary, weary, and nearly. Are there more words in the Raven which have dominant sounds? Can you identify them? But I'll let you work on that while we take a short break. Let's hear the next set of lines of The Raven and see if we can identify the dominant sound in them.
But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more.
What dominant sound did you hear in the lines you have just heard? You're correct. The most dominant sound was the vowel sound O, and it is found in the words no, and broken, echo, and token. That's not all. There is yet another set of words in the same poem with a common sound. Let's listen to these lines.
While I nodded, nearly napping, Suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more.
What dominant sound did you hear this time? Have you heard tapping, rapping, peering, fearing, wondering, doubting, dreaming, and nothing having common sounds? Then you're absolutely right. The recurring and predominant sound in those words is the sound ing. We can say, therefore, that the sounds e, o, and ing contributed to the eerie and somber moods of the various situations in the poem. The fourth element of sound, which contributes to the beauty of a poem, is called tone color. Tone color refers to the sounds and words that are predominant and are used repeatedly to add to the dramatic effect that creates a particular mood. That completes our graph of the elements of sound for enjoyment. Let's look at our diagram again. We have tempo, rhythm, rhyme, and tone color. To summarize, we said that tempo is the rate of movement one uses when he or she reads poetry or sings a song. Rhythm is the total quality of line's motion. Rhyme relates itself to the common or dominant sound of ending words in poems. And tone color refers to the predominant and repeated sounds of letters and words. These elements, which contribute to the charm, mood, and overall dramatic effect of the text, be it in poems, songs, narratives, heighten our students' appreciative listening skills. Be sure to make your students aware of these skills. Listening to appreciate allows them to see and enjoy the beauty of things around them. And to prove my point, let me show you the last scene where students respond spontaneously to music.
Class, this time around, you are going to listen to a song. And as you listen to it, you are going to draw as many sketches of shapes and figures as possible. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'll play the tape.
I'd like you to watch a physical education teacher, Teacher Joy, interpreting music in a dance. Later, Nika will ask her students to take after Teacher Joy.
Class, after listening to the song Vincent, I will now introduce to you a friend of mine, Teacher Joy.
Good morning, Teacher Joy.
Good morning, class. Class, I would like you to watch very closely Teacher Joy's interpretation of the song Vincent. And later, I'm going to ask you to do the same. Okay?
Mom.
Yes, you will. You can do it. I know you can do it. Now, let's watch her dance the song, Vincent.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day, with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chill in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, to how you suffered for your sanity, to how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
Did you like that, class? Did you like it?
Yes, Mom, very much.
Now, how did you feel while Teacher Joy here was interpreting the song? Yes? How about Tina? Tina?
I felt like crying. I mean, I could feel for Vincent. The melody of the song and the movement of Teacher Joy's seemed to suggest the pain that Vincent suffered from.
And what did Vincent suffer from? Are there words in the song which depict the suffering? How about Ramon?
Ma'am, I remember the following lines. 1. How you suffered for your sanity. 2. Vincent's eyes of China blue.
Very good. Anything else? How about Kathy?
Mom lines where her face lived in pain and for they could not love you.
Very good. Anything else? What else will you start? Yes, Claire?
That part of the song which says, when no hope was left inside and you took your life as lovers often do.
Very good. Now, what do all these suggest? How about Mike?
It suggests that Vincent suffered so much pain when he was alive.
That's good, Mike. Now, class, as much as Teacher Joy here is still with us, I will now ask you to interpret the song and express your emotions and feelings for Vincent in your own special way. Are you ready?
Yes, Mom.
Let's all stand up and let's interpret the song.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day, with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chill in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how.
Wasn't that great? Notice how Teacher Nika made her students feel the essence of the song by listening to the melody and lyrics of the song, by watching Teacher Joy interpret the song in a dance, and by asking them to interpret the song on their own through bodily movements. Did I prove myself right? The students simply could not help but respond to good music, couldn't they? We will talk about the highlights of these episodes when we return. say goodbye, let's highlight some of the things we talked about. We said that appreciative listening is one type of listening which we have to develop among our learners. We also said that tempo, rhythm, rhyme, and tone color are elements of sound. Tempo refers to the rate of movement, whether quick or slow. It is experienced in poetry as well as in music. Rhythm, on the other hand, is the total quality of a line's motion. It is a product of regular repetition of sound elements like accent, beat, and intonation. Rhyme adds charm to lines of poetry because of the ending words that sound the same. Tone color refers to the sounds and letters that are predominant and are used repeatedly in a given selection. Be sure to make your students aware of these elements of sound. Make them see the beauty of poetry and music through the use of tempo, rhythm, rhyme, and tone color. Well, this is all for now. In the next episode, I will take up with you an integrated lesson in listening. Remember your date with me, your host, May Fernandez Legazpi. Goodbye for now and happy teaching!